Hello again, everyone. Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of Formula 1 2021, where we are getting ready for the Austrian Grand Prix. First of all, activities. We have a few days before the race. Let's see what we can get into. Since we're sitting at level 9 and we need level 10 to get our secondary sponsor, I think adding some more team acclaim at the cost of 5K is a good investment. So a sponsor event conference for the 2 days. And with durability being a big premium, we have 2.5 million in the bank, and it's only going to be 1.6 million to improve the fabrication, which will allow us to do a second level of reliability research. So we'll go ahead and confirm that. That will be done on the 3rd of July. Looking at research and development on the aero side, unfortunately, our front wing gurney flap did fail. So we can try to get that research a little bit later. As far as chassis goes, our improved energy store cells are done, which unlocks our roll dampers and monocoque structure. That is outstanding. So with a 0% failure chance, we'll go ahead and research our front wing gurney flap. And it looks like this aero side is where we really need some help. We're near the bottom, so let's see if there is another aero development we can do. Yeah, and we're tapped out on research slots in the aero side, so unfortunately we won't be able to do anything there, but as a positive note, we can do something else with our 974 points. So let's do some chassis side. 968 points with that 12% reduction. That will be a decent boost. 31% failure chance, and it's not going to be ready until after the United Kingdom Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix, so that's a little bit of a kick in the nads, but we'll see if that will bear fruit. And we had a gearbox on order, but it's not done just yet, so we're going to roll into Austria with this terrible gearbox, 70% wear, so we might have a failure. So we'll be set for the British Grand Prix for sure, but Austria might be a little bit of a kick in the nads. We are just going to have to get as much research and development as we can and see if we can survive during the race.
Right, a little bit of an electrical problem at the moment. We're working on it now, so don't worry. We're going to get you out there as soon as possible.
Yeah, as expected, looks like we have some electrical system fault. We kind of anticipated this, so we'll be on the track a little bit later than everyone else. So 15th and 19th for practice 1 for the team. I did, as you can see, just medium tire run and a balanced setup. I think in practice 2, I'm going to give the low drag setup a try, but most of the programs are complete, so we're not going to spend too awful much time in practice 2 or 3.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it.
Yeah, Claire, it was pretty good.
Are you hoping to have your reliability issues sorted out before qualifying?
I hope so. The car shouldn't be wearing out at this rate. We're working as fast as we can, but we can only do so much. Sure.
How do you feel about this team's performance this season?
You can see how hard they're working.
Appreciate your time.
And that should be our 2 questions answered for the weekend. All right, practice 2, we did 1 run. I gave it a little bit more speed, and we ended up being 16th. So if we did have to pick a race to drop out of, this one might be the one, as I don't think we have just the sheer speed on Austria. Fun track, though. We're going to skip P3 and see what qualifying brings. 500 program points for us and 8 development boosts. That's going to take us up to 786 research points. And let's see what kind of discounts we get. So the reliability testing on the energy store, the ignition system, we're definitely going to have to pick that up soon. Roll dampers with a nice big chunk. That is good. Gearbox, all right, I like to see reductions. Hey, there's our first reduction for that part. And we're almost under 1,000 for that as well. Yeah, getting in some decent reduction. Yeah, magnet compound, 35% off. I think we can do that. Almost level 6 for us and 9 3/4 for the team. So maybe after this race, if everything goes well, we can sign our secondary sponsor. It ended up chucking down with rain about halfway through the session, and my laps before the rainstorm wasn't quite good enough. 1.9 off of the lead and only 0.3 off of Q2, so not bad, but I would have liked a little bit more. But on to the race. But on a positive note, we just crossed driver level 6, and take a look at our team acclaim, 9 and like 90%. So after this race, we should be able to sign our second secondary sponsor. So let's get down to the grid.
Welcome to the beautiful Styrian Mountains for another chapter in the story of the Austrian Grand Prix. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 meters above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill turn 3. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. And thanks for joining us, Ant. And tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Sainz, Gasly, Vettel and Lance Stroll, Tsunoda, Ocon, Kimi Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, Leclerc, Mick Schumacher, the Tigress and Nobuharu Matsushita, Russell, Mazepin, Latifi and Fernando Alonso rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
All right, race strategy looks like we're starting off in cloudy conditions and sun will come out, so no threat of rain. We'll be on 8 laps on the soft tires and then 10 laps on the medium tires, so should be okay. Let's go ahead and get the race started. And hopefully our gearbox lasts. That is the big thing. Good run up to the inside behind Charles Leclerc.
Rated limits on the MGU-H. The power unit is going to be more prone to overheating.
Which is fine. He didn't say anything about the electrical system though, so that's all well and good. Everyone funneling into this corner. Looked like a yellow flag came out behind us. Didn't see who was involved, riding in 14th behind Charles. A little bit of a dive bomb in there. We're clear and away. You get on that ERS and behind Raikkonen. And this is where we're a little bit slower than the rest of them. These double left-handers right here. The car bouncing, as you can see, offline. We're not really stable through those left-handers at all. Car to the inside. And we are dogged a little bit there. Let's see if we can stay within a second of Giovinazzi. And DRS should be enabled at next lap. So we should be sitting pretty where we are, right in the toe. Good acceleration off there. We're starting to gap Matsushita a little bit, our teammate behind us. And we'll try to stay as close as we can in these left-handers. We might get that arrow push. Take the turn a little bit slower and a little bit more methodical.
Approaching its wear limit. We will be forced to retire if we're not careful. Make sure to discharge your battery properly.
So let's get on that battery. DRS should be enabled this lap.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
A little bit cheeky pass there. DRS is open. And Ocon does not have DRS. We'll be able to make the run to the inside here. Good pass off the corner. And clean air in front. And with no one else in front, it is all about defense now from behind and discharging that ERS. Let's settle in here. And getting out of that DRS danger zone from Esteban behind us. Riding in 14th. All right, we'll be coming in this time by. We're riding in 14th, 3.8 behind Raikkonen.
Let's box this lap.
And a few seconds ahead of our teammate, so hopefully he is not on the same strategy. Otherwise, we will be stacking up a bit. All right, looking for pit road entry on the right. We're gapped quite a bit from the car behind. Let's see if we can get everything we can out of this entry here. And I think we were like one over? I don't know. But Matsushita did go by, so we're not stacking up. Let's get our tires on here.
Go. Exit now. We're racing on the exit. Pit strategy complete. See these tires through to the end now.
A little bit sketchy pit road exit, but we are free and clear of Ocon behind by a good bit. So at least we don't have to worry about DRS coming from behind. And Matsushita
coming in for his stop.
is coming in. We'll see where we shake out here. And looking to the right, we're making up these spots on pit road. Easiest passes we'll make all day. And sitting behind Raikkonen, 2.6 seconds. Lap 11, right in front, making a few more passes. And 2.4 behind Raikkonen, so only 0.2 caught on that lap. Oh, Ocon's on the softs. That'll be increasingly difficult to hold him from behind. But if we can catch DRS off of him, and he's fast enough to pull us up to Raikkonen, then all may work out in our favor, at least to get past Raikkonen.
Are you all right? Engine off. Engine off.
What in the world? Are you all right? Terminal damage. Well, I guess we're just going to have to retire. We just came to a complete and utter stop. I don't know what that was all about. Probably the gearbox, if I did have to say. But we weren't going to get into the points anyway. It wasn't a big hit as far as that's concerned.
Here at Austria, and a truly magnificent drive to hang on and take the win. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
So Valtteri Bottas in front, Max Verstappen in second, and Sergio Perez rounding out your top three. 2 out of 3 for Red Bull, and interesting to see where Hamilton can go. But we'll have to take a look at that replay and see if there was any sort of indication that we were going to explode. So there's your running order. Lando Norris with a 106.3 fastest lap. We got 107.3, so a second off of the fastest lap. Nobuharu ended up coming in 17th. So there is your driver's standings. As of this race, Max Verstappen ahead by 1 point over Valtteri. Lewis Hamilton and Lando is tied. We are 4 points to the good over Lance Stroll and just 3 points behind Yuki Tsunoda. And not that far behind Pierre Gasly either. So one good points day can vault us into the top 10 in driver's standings. And as far as constructors, it's pretty spaced out. We're 6 to the good over Alpine, so that is one thing we have to be concerned of, but we have 20 points to make up on Aston Martin. So on the start, we can see that our car is not exactly looking good in the grand scheme of things. A big plume. Maybe we were running some sort of defensive smokescreen. But yeah, we were looking that we were going to retire the entire race, or it's one of those things where the game blew our engine up and it didn't reset it back to the start state. But either way, we were basically on fire. So hopefully before the British Grand Prix, we can get that gearbox completed. But they knew we were here at least.
Bad luck out there today. Let's talk about it. It looked like you had a few mechanical hiccups during that race.
Yeah, the team needs to be focusing overall on reliability.
You had a bit of a rivalry going on, but it looks like they bested you.
I just couldn't keep up with that engine.
Do you think this team are performing as well as they could do?
They're hard workers, always improving and learning from their mistakes.
Appreciate your time.
And we'll see if we can actually get our team acclaim into 10. And our driver acclaim dropped down a bit, but thanks to Nobuharu, I believe he is able to, yes indeed, get our team acclaim up to level 10. So next episode we'll be signing our secondary sponsor, and of course Zenaido is no longer drunk and gives us our 198,000, 16,000 damage. Nobuharu with 10k damage, but overall a net gain. And that will set us up for 10 days at the British Grand Prix. Hopefully by then they can get that gearbox made and we can get a brand new gearbox in the car for next time, as well as take a look at any other parts that may be on their way out. But that will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time for the British Grand Prix. Take care.